Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shah, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shah, Barakatah Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakar Kwadash. Double honor to the elders and apostles of GMS with 100% doctrine, and shalom to the hopeful elect scattered around the four corners of the earth. That's also pushing this 100% doctrine to you. I want to say shalom. This is your brother Nakar coming back with another lesson. And this lesson, kind of meditated on this. It's gonna be on Revelations chapter 2, verse 10. Fear none of these things which thou suffer. Behold, the devil should cast some of you into prison, that ye might be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days, and be faithful unto death, and I'll give thee the crown of life. We all know this is a thing that come past to come, but I really want to focus on the devil should cast some of you into prison. So we already know the spiritual Satan, demon Satan, uses his physical counterparts on this earth, which is who? Esau, Edom, the wicked. You see what I'm saying? The so-called white man. So, what maybe make this lesson is the profit that they really make of people going to prison. So, I'm going to go into some details and some scriptures back and forth. So starting with this one, I put you become a slave in prison. It says, while the 13th Amendment to the USA Constitution abolished slavery and involuntary servitude, it contains an exception clause that allows for those practices as a punishment for crime whereof the party shall be in duty convinced. So, so with that, it's basically saying that when you do go to jail, you become a slave technically. But this is like the other way around of saying that you're not a slave, but you are. Because if you've seen some, I've never been to jail or prison, but most people who got like 5 to 10 years or 15 years, they get jobs and they get paid cheap for it, which I'm going to go into it. So he said, here's how this relates to incarcerated individuals concept of prison slavery, forced labor. Incarcerated individuals are often required to work within a prison system or for outside entities, sometimes for very little or no pay. Lack of labor rights. They are typically excluded from basic labor protection like minimum wage, overtime pay, to the right to unionized and workplace safety guarantees. Coercions. Refusal to work can lead to disciplinary actions like solitary confinement or loss of privilege, and effectively making labor compulsory. So like I'm pronouncing words wrong. Exploitations. The combination of forced labor and lack of labor rights and potential of explanations rises concerns about whether the system constitutes a form of modern slavery. So to just get you on a just of that, even if you refuse to rate to solitary confinement, which is a worse cell with a metal bed, I believe, no sheets, one toilet, your toilet is your sink or some type shit, and it's like no sunlight. So basically, this is modern day slavery in a nutshell, right? So, let's go over the jobs in prison. Because you'll be surprised what type of jobs they do. They do a lot of hands-on jobs. So it says in prison, their jobs are both inmates and staff. Inmates can work various roles: food service, maintenance, or laundry, while staff positions include correctional officers. It ain't about them. We're talking about the inmates, not the people who work there. Some prison support roles inmates may work: kitchen cleaning, doing critical work, laundry, or maintenance. I really want to get into, this is the pay right here. It makes small wages of their pay typical region from 12 cents to 40 cents per hour. And mind you, they can work up to 12 hours, right? Skills and training. Some prisons offer training programs to help individuals to develop new skills, becoming eligible for certain jobs. So I want to find it. So right here, this is what I was really looking for. It says sentenced inmates are required to work if they're medically able to. Institutional work assignments include employee areas like food service or the warehouse, or works as an inmate, orderly, plumber, painter, or groundskeeper. And you see how much they make, right? 12 cents to 40 cents per hour. So, and there's more things. I've seen wood shop before, welding before, and pipe bending, which, it's a pipe fitter. So imagine somebody, like at my job, you could make potentially $30 to $40 an hour doing what some of these inmates doing, welding and pipe bending, right? But they're getting forced to do those jobs for cheap. Because 40 cents per hour could give you enough commissary for the month. Like if you want like some damn honey bun, noodles or whatever, it's for that. So basically, Great Babylon is still profiting off modern-day slavery, technically, off human beings. Because I'm going to show you how much they make. And this is a question that nobody asks. So I'll put how much prisons make a year. Prisons in the United States alone, especially private ones, and we'll get to that towards the end of the video, can generate revenue through various means, including charging stakes, daily rates per inmate, charging for inmate labor, and selling goods and services products by inmates. While prisons are generally not considered to generate profit in traditional sense, yeah, right. Private prisons can make profits of estimate of $374 million annually, right? We got public prisons. Prisons typically run by the government, funded by taxpayer money. They do not guarantee profit in traditional sense, but rather aim to cover operational costs. The average cost of incarceration of an inmate in the United States is only $31,286 per year. See, that is low as fuck, right? And like these people are really stealing from the poor, see, with taxpayers, right? So let's go ahead into these scriptures. So we got Proverbs 28 and 15. As a wrong line and a raging bear, so is the wicked ruler of the poor people. I'm just keeping going now. We got Psalms chapter 10, verse 8. He sitteth in lurking places of villagers, and secret places doth he murder the innocent. His eyes are prepared to set against the poor. So us middle class, the low class people, we paying taxes. We paying taxes to these prisons, and they making way more than 300-some million. Some are making billions. I'm gonna show you that after I read through some scriptures, man. Because they basically robbing us. Even my other video with Mark Zuckerberg Data Center, the lady said they're making enough money from Facebook, Microsoft, and Twitter to pay for their own energy for like almost, she said, I think she said decades, but they gonna charge the people who live in the area to raise up their damn electric bill because they're dumb, man. These people are the damn devils. They keep taking from the poor, even when they don't need to. These jails are profiting damn near almost $1 billion a year, man. And they still telling us to pay taxes for this shit. Tax for the inmates. They got enough money to take care of inmates inside there. But they making money off the inmate and you people who paying taxes, or us who paying taxes, man. Because, they take out taxes regardless. So let's keep on going. And then I got an NLT version of Proverbs 20:22-16. A person who gets ahead by oppressing the poor or by showing gifts on the rich will end in poverty. Then we got Proverbs chapter 22:22. Don't rob the poor just because you can, or exploit the needy in court. Which is, these wicked motherfuckers, they do. We got Proverbs chapter 22, verse 7. Just as the rich rule the poor, so borrower is a servant to the lender. And then I also got John chapter 8:44. You are your father, the devil, and the lust of your father you will do. He was a murderer from the beginning, and abhor not in the truth, because there's no truth in him. When he speak of a lie, he speak of on his own, for he is a liar, the father of it. Then we got 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are ignorant of his devices. Ignorant of his devices, yeah. So just touched on some scriptures before I really dive back into it, because you're going to really see why I read the last two. Because this was funny to me. So we already know how much they're generating, right? So I went to the most groups who've been thrown in prison. You already know it's going to be what? Jake's, right? So it got Maryland. I don't know why I put Maryland. But it says the highest radical groups. They want to put white followed by so-called whites, so-called blacks, and Hispanics. We know damn well that's not it. It's so funny, when I was reading up on this website had this. This is what I said, he has no light on him. He don't tell lies. He's the father, he's the father of what? What I say? Salakia. For he's the liar and the father of it. And I seen this, and I thought this chart was so funny. I said, oh, wow. I said, see, that debunks everything else say, because it says so-called white 88,305 inmates, 56.9% of the population, right? That's why I say you don't want to be ignorant of Satan's devices, because you know what, they damn control the media. They control everything. They can put anything I want. It's funny how they put that. You go here, First Nation people in Australia, yeah, right. So what's good? Most like then they got this. What groups are most likely to be incarcerated? Estimated 20% of so-called black men, so-called Hispanics, and so-called white. Right, and it's expected to serve state federal prisons. In general, women have lower lifetime chances and incarceration than men. However, the so-called black women, 3.6, have nearly the same chance as the man, 4.4% serve time in prison. So, I go here, the same chart now. Remember, I never seen that chart before in years, man. So, what is the largest ethnic group in the federal state correctional system? The largest ethnic group in the federal state correctional system is the so-called Negro, African American. But wait, it just had a chart where it said so the so-called whites had 88, right? It's like, that's why I say you don't want to believe anything you see up here. So enough of that, but long story short, let me see. Of course, fucking Wisconsin. But yeah, the long story short about this, they're making a fucking profit and killing off it. This is just another business to them, right? So Core Civic owns probably the most prisons they own 39 prisons and detention centers. They say, yes, Core Civic owns the operates numerous prison and jails in the United States, making the largest private owner of such facilities. Core Civic's facilities include both secure correctional facilities and residential re-entry centers. The company contracts with said the federal government agency to operate these facilities according to Core Civic. So this is a shareholder so-called company. So it's different type of various companies that own Core Civic. Right? So I'm gonna go ahead. Ownerships and operation. Core Civic owners manage a significant number of prisons and jails across the country. They also operate facilities on the contract basis for the government entities. We got the facility types already read that. Includes secure correctional facilities, residential re-entry centers, and immigration detention centers. So that's what ICE. That's what ICE doing. Arresting immigrants to try to take them back to El Salvador and all this, and taking them out on the homeland. Why they got them? So those first white South Africans. It's so funny, man. These damn devils is hilarious. And the government contracts, operations largely related on the contracts with federal, state, and local government agencies. Revenue and profitable. Core Civic generates substantial revenue from its prison operation. They reported $1.9 billion in revenue in 2023, with a net worth ascending over $188 million. So through all the information I said, this is modern day slavery. So even to today, Negroes, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Hispanics, and Latinos are still given, no, not given, but are still under the oppression of generating massive amount of money for America. Because this is how America live and thrive on, man. Then, it goes to the Correctional Corporation of America, is the company that owns and manage private prisons and detention centers. Like when here, like I said, they own prison and jails. They operate 43 prisons and jails, 39 of which they own with a total capacity of 65 beds. They also own and operate residential reentry centers. So there you have it. So, I was going to there, and then, you got Shaq sell out ass. He put $1 million. He said the Post claimed that Nike had contract with prison label and that Jordan had profited from these contracts. Shaquille O'Neal, 2016, it was revealed he invested in Core Civic, a private prison company. On their investment roughly around $1 million. So, but you already know Shaq and them niggas is sellouts anyway. They're gonna fucking die. So it don't matter. So fuck Shaq and fuck Jordan. So yeah. So you see, what groups that get incarcerated more and put into these prison systems can still have modern day slavery. So I went to the CEO. So you already know who's gonna pop on the CEO. A fucking Edomite. Damon Hingering. Hingering, some shit like that. President Chief Executive Officer, Core Civic, position he has held since 2009. See how much he make? $7.5 million over a year. Increases 29% on last year. Right? It says this market capitalized at $2.5 billion. See what I'm saying? I said, who are the largest shareholders of Core Civic? You have BlackRock, LLC, Vanguard, River Assessment Managers, and Corporate Creek Partners on Management. So I wonder, is they Jewish? I'm she ain't gonna fucking tell you. There's no evidence he said he's Jewish. Yeah, fucking right, bitch. But you get the point. His ass might be, we gonna be the thumbnail. As these devils keep on, throwing us in prison and shit like that to make more money. I told you, it's a profit at the end of the day. It's a business. Don't be fooled by it. Even if you inside there for a damn year or two, you're doing a little bit of work. You can make fucking flags and shit like that. I want to show you a video. Not this. Before I close it out, I might show it. It's just some lady she was actually breaking down. Oh, here we go. Yeah. She was actually breaking it down. Fair use. I don't know.
Welcome to County Office, your ultimate guide to local government services and public records. Let's get started. How much do prisons make per inmate a year? If you've ever wondered how much prisons spend or make per inmate, you're about to get some surprising answers. Let's break it down step by step. First, let's talk about the costs. The amount of money spent on each inmate varies significantly from state to state. According to the Vera Institute of Justice in 2015, by the average daily prison population. This figure includes all the expenses for staffing, maintaining the prisons, and providing services to the inmates. But what about the revenue side? Prisons, especially private ones, can generate revenue in several ways. Private prisons, for instance, can make money by charging states a daily rate per inmate. This rate can vary from $30 to $200 per day per inmate, depending on the state and the type of facility. In addition to these daily rates, prisons also generate revenue through inmate labor programs. Inmates may work in industries such as manufacturing, agriculture, and construction, and the products they produce are sold for profit. However, it's important to note that the wages paid to inmates are very low, typically ranging from 33 cents to $1.41 per hour. While prisons do make some money from these sources, the overall cost of incarceration remains a significant burden on taxpayers. The total state expenditure on prisons in 2015 was just under $43 billion, and this figure has continued to rise over the years. 3. To put it into perspective, the cost per state resident also varies widely. For example, Alaska spends around $429 per resident on prisons, while Utah spends only about $51 per resident. This difference is largely due to the incarceration rates and the cost per inmate in each state. In summary, prisons spend a significant amount of money per inmate each year, with costs varying widely by state. While prisons can generate some revenue, the financial burden on taxpayers is substantial, and the ethical implications of profiting from incarceration are complex and multifaceted.
So yeah, there you have it. Even with that chart saying Dubai is a so-called whites is more normal, but even though we still scattered abroad, so some of those, if that number is true, which I really doubt it, some of them might be Jakes. You see what I'm saying? Because we are scattered Israelites throughout all 4 corners of the earth. But despise that, man. You see, my question is the end question after all this video. I don't think people understand how much is a billion is. So my question is to you: where is all that money going to? You see, they're making damn near over $74 billion there a year, $43 billion, $337 million. That's questions that's never been asked by these devils. But we'll never get it because nobody ever want to do this research on it. Because they try to say, oh, it's going to cities, it's going to schools. Come on now. Think big. $1 billion is a lot of money. A lot of fucking money. But anyway, hopefully you find this lesson edifying. You got something from it. I'm going to close it out. And I want to give all glory and praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Shalom.